Ted Miller.
Carl.
Good evening, everyone. Apologize about that. There was a situation with the service. I'll join you in about 20 seconds. Hold on. Thank you. Okay, we're going to start. Appreciate your patience this evening. This is Gary Nerlinger, the founder of GEM. Tonight's call is going to be very short. This call will last less than 20 minutes. I know you may have heard that from me before, but I've accepted the Star Wars directive that I will be vaporized into thin air if I'm still talking after 20 minutes. Let's just get a few facts straight and get right to the point. My auditors and CPAs laughed at the false accusations that I never filed tax returns for several years. And the Shareholder Action Committee, made up of shareholders and investors just like you, are absolutely appalled and angry that they have been insulted by James Massa and GLB, that group, with more flagrant lies and obscenely false accusations. After the blasphemous and venomous lie-filled letters that were sent out to you from Massa and the phony board of directors, there are no more board of directors, GLB. After those letters went out to you several times, the last one being Wednesday, January 29th, it was filled with lies and defamatory statements that gave an absolutely false and totally misleading appearance of being sent out by the SEC and an SEC attorney by the name of Ken Donnelly. Now listen closely. They were not, and in fact, not from the SEC. I had spoken to Mr. Ken Donnelly and the SEC. Mr. Donnelly had no idea that those emails were going out, misrepresenting and impersonating the SEC. He had no idea they were going out representing that they were coming from the SEC. They were coming directly from James Massa and GLB. I will say this to you one last time. Those false defamatory emails were sent by Massa and GLB, not the SEC. Because if they were from the SEC, and I know they made it look like it was coming from Ken Donnelly, the way they constructed the email, if it was from the SEC official SEC insignia or logo would have appeared at the top of those emails or letters, and it certainly did not. So there that is. Massa and GLB are just desperate. I immediately answered all of their defamatory allegations with the truth, filed a $40 million minimum defamatory defamation per se suit by legal counsel who recognized all of it was all lies, and we sent the proof to you all, as well as to the courts and the government. I sent you a photocopy of the deed to the rental house owned by an Asian couple whom I've never had a personal relationship with in any way. Neither I nor Riva nor Jem have ever owned that property at all. Riva obviously never had this rental property on the market for several millions of dollars. It was all an outright lie and blasphemous defamation. The defamation per se suit against them is airtight and an open and shut case. They earned this, they brought it upon themselves, and now they got it. The other suits are following suit very quickly. In fact, Ken Donnelly of the SEC was on medical leave and in the hospital and never planned a January 24th meeting with any court and myself for any reason. I have spoken with Mr. Donnelly and the SEC a multitude of times about the situation. No one is being sentenced. That is an outrageous defamation. And it has been, just as it has turned out, to be one outrageous lie, manipulation, and false statement, one after another from the day Massa was brought in by APAFR. That's what it's been. The civil matter with the SEC, I'm looking to resolve that. It does not include any of the poisonous bile or false defamatory lies fabricated by Massa and GLB. Massa and GLB just invented dates and defamatory concoctions with the intentional appearance of those false statements coming directly from the SEC, knowing Mr. Donnelly was absent and wouldn't respond. Mr. Donnelly did not write any of it, was not aware of it, was away on medical leave, and did not send it to you. Massa GLB made it up, and they sent it to you. This was all intentional, and it was meant to confuse you. I have spoken to many of you, and it certainly did confuse many of you. And many of you have spoken with me, and now you're no longer confused. My friends, you need to understand this. Massa and his group of lying cronies have nothing to lose anymore by continuing to lie and confuse you on a daily basis. All that is left for them is to continue to try to confuse you with more lies and defamation. I say bring it on, because I already have a $40 million defamation minimum suit against them. It can only get worse, and they're only digging more holes and digging much deeper holes for themselves. They're in it and cannot escape. They brought this on themselves. They have been caught and their lies revealed and proven. We, the shareholders, are on the side of the truth and the law, and have always been. I, under penalty of perjury to the United States courts and the government, have presented only the truth, financial disclosures, and I want you all to know that I wrote a 7-page response, all facts, to the United States magistrate judge and to the SEC, accompanied by 5 inches of papers and documents which are proof and evidence of the truth. I hand-delivered it to the judge yesterday, February 5th, 2020. Excuse me. Under penalty of perjury, this evidence proves and confirms that Massa's letters to you, the shareholders, was false, egregious, and outright defamatory. It never came from the SEC. There no longer should be any doubt in any of your minds what the truth is in any of this. You have the proof and the truth. My friends, Massa has resigned and is running. Once the defamation suit was filed, he resigned from it all and is trying to distance himself from his so-called friends and cohorts and from our lawsuits, but he can run, but he cannot hide. He is not absolved from any liability in any court in the land. He's also sitting on boxes and boxes of legal statements and emails and tapes that are incredibly incriminating that he owes to us through our win in the Kentucky courts. He has refused to turn them over and then resigned. What does that tell you? He is facing the music. He never dreamed he would be caught and held legally accountable, and that he is, and the rest of them are. The exciting news is that we are proceeding forward with all of the lawsuits. They are being served as we speak. In the defamation suit, depositions will happen soon. In the derivative suit, in the federal securities fraud suit, in the preferential suit where they stole money directly from the company, during the bankruptcy, during the fraudulent bankruptcy, fraudulent conveyance, followed by criminal prosecution. They cannot escape. The legal wheels continue to turn. There will be more lawsuits and actions against them. We are bringing them to their knees until all of the co-conspirators, including the legal counsel who advised and convinced them that the lying and cheating that they did would win out over the truth. They were wrong. The new company is continuing to take shape. It is very exciting. The technology is so advanced and exciting. You know, just as in the past, my brain is formulating new and newer ideas, and the product is well underway. Well underway. Engineers, brilliant programmers are very, very excited about the end product and the technology. They're on board and signed on board. We have brought in top shelf talent and are surrounded by our managing team and brilliant engineers that we've worked with in the past to help me create the original technology. That work has been started, and we are well on our way. We are looking forward to inviting our trusted and vetted fellow shareholders to an invite-only tech webinar very soon. More details will be coming out very shortly. It is very exciting. Now, regarding the suits, I have written this, and I am pledging to you that the majority of the funds that I recover from the defamation suit that I brought will go back to benefit our shareholders and directly to the new company for faster and more productive growth. I will also add that the GEM Shareholder Action Committee has taken votes on what to do with the recovered funds from the derivative suit and there are votes to fund the new company, and there are votes to also contribute the funds that have been contributed by the shareholders to the legal fund. I want to make that absolutely clear so everyone knows those are the facts. And while we are moving forward on this very cool technology, and that's a lot of work, we still have to punish the guilty. And that process has begun in earnest. They cannot hide, they cannot run, and our legal counsel is all over them. And they are right now in communication with the attorneys representing our adversaries. Their attorneys called our attorneys after the defamation suit was filed. There's no way out for them. If there are questions about any of this, you can email me, you can email the committee. You have the email address, it's gemshareholders@gmail.com. And you have the email addresses and the phone numbers at the bottom of each of the emails in the library of GEM Shareholder Action Committee emails. There's, I believe, we're coming up upon 60 emails of proof, confirmation, verification, of substantiation of all of that has transpired. Please stay patient and loyal to those of us who have been and will continue to fight to protect your interests and your investments. Have faith that the truth, the hard work by your fellow shareholders and the GEM Shareholder Action Committee, who is a group of brilliant, loyal, hardworking, incredibly phenomenal people, and our phenomenal legal counsel will continue to protect us as we gain one victory after another. Recall, we have won and they have lost. We appreciate all of you and are so grateful that you have become the loyal warriors that you have shown yourself to be. And yes, this is a massive team. We need your strength, your loyalty, and your continued ongoing support. And that's what makes a winning team. It's now going on 8:25. I think my time is allotted. Otherwise, I'm going to be vaporized by Lyle Gilman. So I'm going to end the call tonight. If you have any questions whatsoever, email, call, we're here for you. You can speak to any member of the committee. You can speak to our lawyers. You can speak to Lyle or Tricia or Gerd or David Shutbed or Bill Freeman or any of them. and they will give you the facts and the truth. Of course, there's Reva, and if you want to hear from me, I'm at your beck and call, as always. Thank you, and good night. Speak to you all soon. Appreciate it. God bless.